the 10th, 1990. The first game of the new decade here at the baseball ground. It's a third round FA Cup replay between Derby County and Port Vale. The teams drew 1 goal apiece at Vale Park on Sunday, with Trevor Hebbard giving Derby County the lead after 32 minutes and Darren Beckford equalising just 2 minutes into the second period. So that's the scoreline that's brought us back here to the baseball ground to a tie which is some 20 minutes delayed in kick-off due to the late arrival of a special train bringing Vale supporters to the ground. I'll just run through the two sides for you. Derby County having to make a change because of an injury to Paul Blades, which necessitated Rob Hindmarsh moving to number 6. But the good news for Rams fans is Mark Wright, concussed after the game against Coventry City, is now back fit again, having missed the games at Millwall and Vale Park. And he takes his place in the following side. Peter Shilton is in goals. The fullbacks Mel Sage and Michael Forsyth. The central defence, as I've mentioned, Mark Wright at 5, Rob Hindmarsh 6. Midfield, Brian McCord 11 will play on the right. Geraint Williams 4, Trevor Hebbard 10, and Nick Pickering wearing 7 will play on the left. Midfield, the strike pair Craig Ramage at 9, Dean Saunders at 8, and the Rams substitutes Steve Cross and Kevin Francis. There's Craig Ramage in picture, the youngster who has come in to replace Paul Goddard after his £800,000 transfer to Millwall. Port Vale side, they have Mark Grew in goals. Their fullbacks Simon Mills and Darren Hughes at 2 and 3 respectively. Central defensive pair Neil Aspin 5, Dean Glover 6. The midfield Andy Porter 7, Ray Walker 4, Robbie Earl 8 and John Jeffers 11. And the strike pair Nicky Cross at 9 and Darren Beckford number 10. Their substitutes Tim Parkin and Paul Miller. The referee tonight is Mr. D.B. Allison of Lancaster, and the linesman Mr. E.B. Crompton and Mr. J.E. Biddle. It's Mr. Crompton with the red trim to his flag. So the teams are switching, which will mean that Port Vale will defend the family end. So Derby County Master was trooping off. I have no details on him, unfortunately. Derby County will defend the Osbaston end, behind which are massed a good number of Port Vale supporters. They really have brought some support with them tonight at the baseball ground. So Peter Shilton making his way there, just crossing the halfway line, making his way to the Osbaston end. Mark Grew the opposite way to the Normanton end, the family end at Derby. And it will be Derby County to kick off. And Mr. Allison just checking his watch. And in just a moment, this side will been away. And away we go. Dean Saunders with the ball from Craig Ramage. Back to Mel Sage. That one going over Saunders and through to Mark Grew. Mark Grew there. Quite a few clubs in his career, and was on loan here at Derby a few years back without making the first team. This kick goes out into touch right by the Port Vale bench. Mel Sage to take the throw. Trevor Hebbard now for Derby County forward. Neil Aspin with Craig Ramage. Aspin gets his head to the ball. Cross to left back Darren Hughes. Jeffers forward. And right straight into Nicky Cross. Quick throw, but no danger to Derby on that occasion. Goal kick. Port Vale have had to change tonight because of the similarity in colours. Both teams playing white shirts and black shorts normally. Port Vale in all yellow tonight. Shilton's kick. Hanging in the wind. Brian McCord back to Rob Hindmarsh. Ball back now with Peter Shilton. Saunders coming, but Robbie Earl there. Only down to Mel Sage though. McCord spreading it out to the right. Rummage to Saunders, over the bar, but in fact Rummage was offside in that move. As I said, McCord had gone out to the right for if Sage spread the play, but he didn't. He went down the inside right channel. Rummage was offside, and so Saunders' shot wouldn't have counted anyway. So it'll be Dean Glover to take the kick. Flick on by Beckford. Right, handles the ball. Definite movement of the arm there by the Derby County captain, so an early chance for Port Vale. Ray Walker, a talented midfield man and captain. Of course, scored that stupendous goal against Spurs 2 years ago at Vale Park when they put the Londoners out. Also there is number 16 Glover, number 11 John Jeffers. Robbie Earl, it is facing us. And a good effort from Jeffers. Bent the ball and it was far over. Neil Aspin only finds Hebbert, who can't control the ball, and it's Andy Porter forward. Wright only finds Aspin. Williams now for Derby, spreads the play to the right to Mel Sage. McCord wanting the ball, goes out to the right. Williams delivers the pass. McCord on the ball. Into Saunders. Back to George Williams. It would have been had it not been deflected out by Robbie Earl. Mel Sage into Craig Rummage. Back to Sage. Looking for Saunders. Aspin in quickly. Rummage can't control it, but Pickering McCord back to Williams. Bad pass. Nicky Cross intercepts. Bird rescues Derby there. Back to Mark Wright. Looking for Saunders. And left back Hughes into touch. So Derby certainly tried to search out the pace of Saunders against this Vale defence. Corner kick to Derby County. Coming in the 5th minute. Brian McCord to take it. And in the area we have Dean Saunders, number 8 there on the left. And out of picture, Neil Aspin 5 for Vale. Rob High marches up on the near post with Aspin. Goes over them. Mark Wright coming in. Beckford gets the vital touch. Williams retrieves for Derby. Gets the ball across. Out by Beckford again. Right down to Hebbard. Back to Forsyth. Over Rummage and Ray Walker. Ray Walker letting the ball go through to Mark Grew. So quite an action-packed first 5 minutes here. Pickering. Foul by Rummage on right back Simon Mills. Flick on by Beckford towards Earl, and it's Hebbard out for the throw. Vale support getting behind their side. Simon Mills to deliver the throw into Ray Walker. Mills back to Walker. Walker turning in field. Cross to Darren Hughes. John Jeffers. Low centre in, but just too far ahead of Nicky Cross. Pitch shutting in, no trouble there. Flick on by Saunders. Hughes back to Aspin. Rummage sets Hebbard through. Hebbard now for Derby, looking for support because he's out wide. Puts it too far behind Saunders and the chance wasted. Well, Hebbard driven out wide and Vale now on the break. Nicky Cross. And he finds Mel Sage. Hebbard. Rummage. Andy Porter taking over for Vale. Beckford offside. But both sides going out to attack, and that's good for the fans, good for the game. Both finding a few gaps in opposing defences, but offsides have helped to prevent the score, as well as the final ball being passed quite correctly. Here's Rob Hindmarsh now for Derby County. To Craig Rummage, lets the ball run. Walker picks up. Walker and Earl there. Walker. Williams robs Walker. Back to Peter Shilton. Very highly thought of, Ray Walker of Port Vale. Vision Aspin. Rummage controls it, but it's number 16 Glover. Only finds Sage. The thoughts out on the right. He's not offside. He just managed to get back. To Rummage, tries the return, but Darren Hughes covering it. Ambitious pass in the end from Rummage. Not giving McCord a lot of chance to get that pass. Darren Hughes. Under no pressure to pass back to the goalkeeper. Dean Glover. Effects that pass. And Mark Grew now to send the ball into the Derby half. Rob Hindmarsh beats Earl. Saunders knocks it down. Forsyth in. Aspin back to goalkeeper Grew. Forsyth flashing into the fence below us, but not suffering any damage. Simon Mills now for Port Vale. Looking for cross. Fortunately, no Port Vale player there. Flip between Hindmarsh and Wright. Shilt's kick into touch. Knowledge by Peter Shilton. Was a mistake on his part. Mills with another throw. Flick on by Porter. Nicky Cross. Nice to get past Hindmarsh, who elbows him off. Foul. Foul by Rob Hindmarsh on Nicky Cross. Former West Bromwich Albion forward. Simon Mills to take it. Started his career with Sheffield Wednesday before moving to York and then on to Vale. Flick back, but straight into the arms of Shilton there by Darren Beckford. Quite a bit of rain here, so the ground very soft. Robbie Earl. Hindmarsh beating Cross. Ebbard there, beaten by Aspin. Ray Walker to Simon Hughes. Got Andy Porter on his right, but he's going forward himself. Beckford. Andy Porter. Brian McCord, beautiful control there by the young Derby player. Back to his goalkeeper. Saunders with Dean Glover. That's a throw into Port Vale. Off Brian McCord. Darren Hughes to take it. Jeffers forward. Beckford and Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh gets the foot there. Williams down supposedly for Forsyth, but it's short. Porter picks up. Walker then finds Beckford on the left. Challenged by Sage. And a free kick to Derby County. Backheel found Jeffers offside. Mel Sage with the kick. Looking for Rummage. Beaten by Glover. Picked up by Ebbard. Williams across to Forsyth. Looking now coming in to the outside left position. Back to Forsyth. And he finds Ray Walker. Foul on Walker by Saunders. Referee Allison gives the free kick to Vale. Beckford there, beaten by Forsyth. It falls for Walker. Cross to Hughes. Looking for him, finding Nicky Cross. Wright's long leg there robs him. McCord to Sage, back to Wright. McCord with Jeffers. Tries to find Ramage, who slips. Walker now to Jeffers. Jeffers with the cross. Beckford there, beaten by Forsyth. Williams picks up for Derby. Saunders. Forsyth. Dean Glover for Vale. Trevor Hebber picked up a knock there from Ray Walker. Williams now. Hebber's still in trouble. Not gone down, but he's in trouble. Looks like a knee. Saunders now carrying on the move for Derby County. Brian McCord. Williams. Derby having to leave Hebber out the moves. Saunders turning. Forsyth. Saunders. Pickering with a cross. Ray Walker picks up and clears. Beckford comes off Hindmarsh. Porter sends Nicky Cross. Cross with a shot into the fans. And I think now Trevor Hebbard will have some treatment. He didn't go down, but he certainly pulled up after that tackle by Ray Walker as he was going through the centre circle in the half, Port Vale half there. So it'll be a goal kick to Derby County when play resumes. There's Trevor Hebbard, who got the first goal of the game at Vale Park on Saturday, and has suddenly found his shooting boots with goals. He scored 2 goals against Coventry City a week last Saturday in the 4-1 win. Peter Shilton's kick. Hebbard up, but Earl wins out. High march forward. Hebbard chest down for Williams. Saunders. McCord on his right. There's McCord, number 11. Through for Saunders. Darren Hughes there. Goal kick, says referee Allison. Derby fans wanting a free kick, but 6 to 1.5 a dozen the other, I suppose, Mr. Allison thinks. So Mark Drew to take the kick. Mark Drew, as I said, on loan to Derby County a few years back. Started at West Bromwich Albion. Nicky Cross, nice ball to Darren Beckford. Robbed by McCord. Here's Cross. Shilton having to come out and hack it to touch. Ball bit back towards goal and hadn't got enough legs on it to get to Peter Shilton. Simon Mills. Nicky Cross now, but he's offside. Free kick to Derby County. Last Saturday's visit was only the second by the Rams to Vale Park in Burslem. Their previous visits in the 20s were to the recreation ground at Hanley. Ramage now wins the free kick, and the crowd cheer Mr. Allison, the Derby crowd that is. Derisory cheers really, because they feel that Mr. Allison has let 1 or 2 things go, which should have brought Derby County free kicks before this. We get right Williams anyway to send the ball forward. Hindmarsh going in, and it's Robbie Earl giving the corner away. Port Vale in fact hadn't visited, it's only their second visit in 35 years. time they came was February 1955. Second division. Full corner coming over, Mark Wright. Ball kept in by Andy Porter. Michael Forsyth now forward. Ray Walker. Andy Porter again, but only Mel Sage for Derby County up there. No Vale forwards. Derby County won that game 6-1 in February 55, but didn't win another game till the final game of the season. In consequence of that, suffered relegation to 3rd Division North. Foul by Aspin on Ramage, who caught the ball beautifully as he went down. Another free kick to Derby County this time. Robbie Earl not happy with that, showing a little bit of dissent, but referee Allison taking any action. Short one now to Sage by Williams. Cross to McCord. McCord, diagonal ball, but too much swing on it and out for the goal kick. Vale, of course, coming out and trying to play Derby offside and nullifying the advantage of the cross by McCord. Saunders in there, but Dean Glover to Simon Hughes. Williams to Hebbard. Forsyth. Ramage lets it run for Hebbard, who seems to have recovered nicely. Mel Sage. Rob Hindmarch back to Peter Shilton. Ramage fails to control it. Aspin forward for Earl. Earl can't get past Williams. Falls for Sage. Sage looking for Ramage, but not there. Mark Grew. The other clubs include Wigan, Leicester, Oldham, West Brom I've mentioned, Fulham, and Ipswich, amongst the others. By McCord, out for the throw. Derby number 11 failing to keep the ball in. Darren Hughes now with the throw. Trying to find Beckford. Mark Wright downfield. Ray Walker picks up. Ray Walker gets the look of the bounce there. Nicky Cross back, only finds Ramage, is opposite number 9. Trevor Hebbard now for Derby County, looking for and finding Nick Pickering. Nick Pickering's got Saunders with him. Good play there by Mark Grew. It's Craig Ramage now. Sage. McCord with a cross. Out by Glover. Williams to Saunders. Saunders now the cross loops up. Ray Walker. To John Jeffers. Good move out of defence by Vale. And Mark Wright picks that one up. Free kick for Derby County. Wright obviously fouled there. Williams looking for Saunders. Skids off the turf surface and Mark Grew out quickly. He'll spin the former Leeds defender, number 5, the fair head number 5. Fair hair, what bit there is of it. He's back. Flickering there, but only finds Walker. Forsyth in. There's Aspin. High march. Good head tennis this. Williams now brings it down. And the cord was robbed. Robbie Earl in turn was robbed by Mel Sage. Forsyth to Williams. Tackled by Walker. Williams does well. Mel Sage. Looking for Ramage. Dean Glover's with him. Ramage picks up. Tries to reverse pass inside. From the cord. There's Williams going forward. Just to control it. Jeffers brings it away to Earl. Beckford. Beaten by High March. Saunders offside. So it's been an exciting 22 minutes. We're nearly halfway through the first half here. And number 10, Port Vale this time. Injured, that's Darren Beckford, so Port Vale physio coming on to administer the treatment to Darren Beckford there. So, say, both number 10s requiring the treatment, and it was those two players who scored the goals at Vale Park on Sunday to bring us back here. Darren Beckford, he was top scorer last season with 23 goals, a tally which included 3 hat-tricks. He was an England youth international when he was with Manchester City, for whom his brother still plays. He had loan spells with Bury and Port Vale before making the full transfer to the Valiants in 1987. There he is, he's back now in action. Moved up to our right as Dean Glover takes the kick. There's Beckford coming off High March. And a slice there by Andy Porter, looked to be through. He slipped, he wasn't fouled as he thought. Looking for the penalty in the finish. Mel Sage, flick on by Hibbard, but nobody there. It's flicked over Saunders. And Ramage was over that way as well, not in the middle. And Hibbard is still feeling his knee, no doubt about it. I think every now and again he looked to have been running it off, but on occasions he limps a bit. Yeah, there's Peter Shilton with a kick. Give for Saunders, inside for Ramage. Ramage back to Williams. Sage on his right. Doesn't control it. Jeffers comes infield. Cross for Andy Porter. Simon Mills, the fullback's gone up on the right flank. Jeffers wants the ball inside. Instead it goes down towards Beckford. Into Cross. Cross turns, Mills takes over. Pickering back to Forsyth to ease the attention for Derby. Saunders, a good pass out to Hibbard. Forsyth. Ramage. Ray Walker for Vale. Only finds Hibbard. In turn, only finds Walker. Good chest down by High March, and Williams plays the ball safely back to his goalkeeper. Coming up to 25 minutes of the first half. Shilton's kick. Aspin beats Ramage, but Hibbard takes over. Now it's Mills clearing for Villa. That's for not Villa, for Vale. I understand Aston Villa are beating Blackburn Rovers by 2 goals to 1. Of course, the winner of that game are the opponents for the winner of this tie. Sage in right now, and Williams. Derby out of a defensive problem. McCord, Sage. But Dean Glover picks up on the halfway line to Ray Walker. Back to Darren Hughes. John Jeffers. Can't get past Sage, into touch. Throwing on the halfway line. Darren Hughes to take it. Into Beckford. Ramage comes back to tackle, back to Sage. Tony Saunders up there, and Glover gets the vital touch. Send the ball into touch for the throw-in to Derby County. Mel Sage to take it. Dean Glover. Ray Walker, back to Dean Glover. Mark Grew now to try and get some distance out of the Vale half. Mark Wright to Williams. It's caught by Ray Walker, and it's Earl taking over. Forsyth in quickly. Ramage chest down. It's fast and frantic cup tie. Sage to Ramage. Williams. For Pickering. Hughes just getting there to deny the Rams number 7 as he went through the middle. Mark Drew bowls the ball out to the near side here to Simon Mills. But Simon Mills wastes it. Big Shilton no trouble at all. Shilton waving his players forward. Players congested in a 10-yard area around the halfway line, either side of the halfway line, 5 yards either side. Cross now for Vale. Pickering beats his opposite number 7, feeds to Scythe. Scythe got to go forward. Saunders. Neat play by Saunders. Pickering takes over. Rummage. Pickering. To Scythe. Pickering. Pickering, neat play by Pickering. Rummage picks up. Williams, Sage is on his right, but he goes to Saunders. Saunders with a shot. Mark Drew now. Beckford. Right for Derby. Sage. McCord. Saunders. Saunders. Williams takes over. Gives McCord a lot of running to do there. It's Mark Drew now to blast the ball upfield. Mark Wright. Williams flicks on. Robbie Earl picks up. Back to Hughes. Jeffers inside towards Beckford, but Wright's there. Into touch. Thrown to Vale. Port Vale from Burslem, originally known as Burslem Port Vale, until they moved to Hanley when they dropped the Burslem prefix. Jeffers now. Ebbard sticks the leg out there and does very, very well. Robbie Earl picks up again for Vale. Darren Hughes. Beckford can't get any direction on his header. Sage down towards Rummage. The throw in to Vale. Now Darren Beckford, number 10 for Vale, is laid out right on the penalty spot. With the second bout of treatment he's had. Obviously a clash with Mark Wright. So the second spell of treatment there for the Port Vale striker. Both the Vale substitutes are warming up. They are Tim Parkin and Paul Miller. And certainly there behind the goal, we've just seen them, the massed support brought by Port Vale. A credit to them. Mid-table in the second division they are. And a credit to Vale and to John Rudge, their manager. Been with the club 10 years, and he's certainly done exceptionally well to steer the club to the position they're in now, and of course has had the hard cup upset that Vale have inflicted to help him on his way. Darren Beckford fit again, and of course none more so than 2 years ago with that win against Tottenham Hotspur at Vale Park. The throw in is to Derby County. Linesman, I thought, was giving it to Vale, but he was flagging for the injury to Beckford. Sage now into Wright. Sage forward to Rummage. Rummage doing well. Forward for Saunders, well cut out by Aspin. McCord going in, forcing Aspin to clear quickly. Rob Hindmarsh fouling Nicky Cross. So Derby lose the attacking impetus. Free kick to Vale.
taken by left back Darren Hughes. Ramage kicks the ball in on the touchline there. Into Saunders. Hebbard does well to beat Walker. Won't set Saunders going, but Darren Hughes, very quick player, back to Mark Grew. Darren Hughes there doing very well to keep up with Saunders. Started his career with Everton, in fact in the FA Cup youth winning side, and then moved on to Shrewsbury and Brighton before Port Vale signed him in 1987. It's left back Darren Hughes. McCord now to Ramage. McCord again. McCord across to Pickering. Slide going on the overlap. Pickering uses him. The flag was up. Saunders, the man. Was penalised, I thought, but from where Mark Grew's taking the kick, it's almost taking a goal kick, equivalent to. Williams, Ray Walker, two number 4s in midfield battle there. Vale win it. Robbie Earle through to Beckford, he hits him on the back. Fortune for Derby there, it didn't fall Beckford's way. Wright seems out of defence, overhits his pass. And Mark Grew will have no difficulty in collecting that. Simon Hughes, the player I was talking about just a moment ago. Tries to find Jeffers, but Jeffers has taken his eye off play. And Sage picks up for Derby. Pickering, used for sight. Firm pass to Forsyth. Into Williams. Saunders. Pickering. Hebbard. Sage. Sage having a dig, but well wide. So we're coming up to 35 minutes on the clock, but of course we've had the injuries. One to Trevor Hebbard and two to Darren Beckford, the Sunday goal scorers. Glover to Earle. Simon Hughes. Mark Wright, superb play, wouldn't know he'd been out the side. Going to Derby, Nicky Cross thought he'd won it off Sage, but not so. It's a free kick to Derby County. Nicky Cross taking retribution out on the Derby County captain. Ray Walker to Robbie Earle. Darren Beckford. Flattened by High March. Free kick to Port Vale. So a lot of free kicks flying about here, spoiling any flow of football. Dean Glover out to the Port Vale right to Simon Mills. Darren Beckford flicks it inside, thinking Andy Porter had come up there, but he hadn't. Good chest down by Saunders to Pickering to Ramage. Williams. Ebbard steaming through. Here's Pickering though. Pickering across. Corner kick. Darren Hughes with McCord steaming in on the right. Gives Derby County another corner. Sword drifts the ball behind the net. Sliced it and the wind took it out that way. Always difficult to know which way the wind is really blowing here at the baseball ground. It does swirl, but it appeared to be in Port Vale's favour towards the start of the half. It's perhaps evened out a little bit now. The flag on the stand opposite is certainly blowing in Port Vale's favour at the moment. Seven going through. Glover. Andy Porter now. Looking for Beckford, but no trouble at all for Peter Shilton. It's Porter on a pass from right back Simon Mills. Craig Rummage. Andy Porter into Ray Walker for Port Vale. Nicky Cross. John Jeffers. Robbie Earl steaming forward. He's now covered by Brian McCord. Ball falls off Melsage for Ray Walker. Good pass out to the right to Andy Porter. And that's good catch by Peter Shilton. Andy Porter in fact had got Simon Mills going up down the right. Elected to cross. And it was well taken by Peter Shilton. Flick on by Pickering. Saunders. Hebbard. Rummage. Referee Allison waving advantage as Derby County in possession. With the crowd appealing for a free kick. Williams. Cross to Sage. Sage to McCord. McCord dinky one in, but only to Aspin. Nicky Cross back to John Jeffers. Darren Beckford. Beckford beats Williams. Robbie Earl. Nicky Cross. Cool work by Mel Sage. Nick Pickering now for Derby. Trevor Hebbard. Dean Saunders. Goes outside Hughes. Williams streaming for it. Tries to chip Mark Grew and doesn't really do anything with it. Other than what you saw. I think caught in two minds. Whether to chip the goalkeeper or cross the ball. Really only helped the ball out of play. Mark Grew's kick. Mark Wright coming in, but Williams beats him to it. Balls for Ray Walker for Port Vale. And that's ball by Simon Mills through to Peter Shilton. The game's certainly not been lacklustre, but needs a goal just to lighten it up. That's Nick Pickering. Good thinking by Saunders. He saw Grew just a little bit off his line and tried that speculative chip shot from the middle of the Vale half. And it'll take a little bit of magic like that, I think, to score the first goal. Certainly a good goal by Hebbard on Sunday, just outside the penalty area. Jeffers now for Vale. Jeffers, strong play, but a good tackle by Hindmarch. Derby County's Mr. Dependable. Here's another one of them, Geraint Williams. Pickering caught, but Williams again picks up. Hebbard tries to flick it through for Saunders. Aspin stops Pickering. Ray Walker now, but only finds Mark Wright. Good work by Porter. There's Simon Mills. Andy Porter. Simon Mills. Hindmarch kicked out by Sage. Williams this time only tickles it, and it's Andy Porter. Mills. Walker. Through Wright's legs to Nicky Cross. And that's Sage clearing on the near post. Walker to Mills. Vale getting behind the side, the supporters. Good turn by Cross. And that's Wright out for the corner. So Derby can sort the defensive work out. Good pressure by Vale towards the end of the half. There's 3 minutes plus injury time, which is probably almost an equivalent length. At least 2 minutes, probably 5 minutes all together. Mills with the corner. It's now across for Brian McCord. Craig Rummage. Tackled by Ray Walker. Nicky Cross. Hammers the ball over, but Mark Wright there for Derby County. Right forward. Rummage. Dean Glover to Neil Aspin. Aspin looking for Nicky Cross. Gets the ball back. High march. Right. McCord there. Beating Jeffers. Dean Glover for Vale. Ray Walker. Brian McCord now just failed to keep it in after blocking Darren Hughes, but good period of Vale pressure this. Without really looking like cracking the Derby defence, but nevertheless it's there, the pressure. Here's Jeffers again. To Porter. Mills again going up on the right. Porter again crosses. And it's Sage out for the corner. Shilton having a word with Sage. Much to say that he needn't have done that, but I don't think anybody shouted to Sage that there wasn't anybody behind him, and whether he would have been able to hear it is another matter as well. Jeffers now gets the ball over, Forsyth heads out. Mills blocked by Williams. Darren Hughes forward. Right, chest down. Beats Ray Walker. Into Williams, in space in midfield. Saunders. Pickering going through. Aspin cuts the intended pass out. McCord wins the ball off Jeffers. Ball back now with Rob Hindmarch. They'll be looking to spring this offside trap, but Saunders loses the ball. Ball with Nicky Cross. Throw into Vale off Trevor Hebbard. Darren Beckford. Williams for Derby County. Rob Hindmarch. Back to Peter Shilton. Certainly Derby County know they're in a cup tie. They knew it on Sunday and they know it tonight. Well, Sage. Brian McCord into Craig Rummage. Knocked down to Mel Sage. Only finds Hughes. Now Williams for Derby. Williams carrying the ball forward. Rummage was offside, but Vale in possession, so no free kick. Hindmarch comes off Beckford to win that one. Right to Hebbard. Walker slips, so Hebbard profits from that with a bit more space. Uses Pickering. Pickering. Straight at Mark Drew. Good positioning by the goalkeeper there. So, 45 minutes of normal time are up. Still goalless. So Walker and Williams in midfield, and Walker wins the free kick. Aspin going up. The quick one by Walker to Hughes. Hughes going in between Rummage and McCord. It changes direction there to Jeffers. Ray Walker. Porter calling for it, but it's going via Mills. Now it's to Porter. Scythe coming over. Porter inside him, gets an in-swinging one. Beckford. The header straight at Shilton. Shilton's kick. Looking for Saunders. Saunders and Aspin there. Aspin wins out. It's Ray Walker picking up. Simon Mills to Ray Walker. Looking for Robbie Earl. Shilton out quickly on right header. Beckford making sure that Shilton doesn't waste any time, picks the ball up. And there's the half-time whistle. Very active first half for both sides. A good period of Vale pressure there we saw towards the end of the half. And both goalkeepers in action. And Port Vale can feel very happy with that one, as the score is Derby County 0, Port Vale 0. Plenty for managers Rudge and Cox to talk about with their teams at half-time. And we look forward to another good half in a few moments' time.
Welcome back for the second half of this FA Cup third round replay between Port Vale and Derby County here at the baseball ground. Referee Allison just checking his watch, and away we go for the second half. Ray Walker over to Darren Hughes. Mark Wright in for Derby County. Hughes not hitting that back pass strong enough, but fortunately it went to Dean Glover. And that's Mark Grew, the Port Vale goalkeeper. Nicky Cross beats Mark Wright. Darren Beckford. Mark Wright again to Peter Shilton. Of course, it was just a couple of minutes into the second half on Sunday when Derby conceded the goal to Darren Beckford. Peter Shilton just failing to prevent the ball crossing the line from his nudge on from Aspin's header. Mark Grew again, defending the goal behind which the Vale fans, Port Vale fans, are massed. And when I say massed, I really do mean massed. They really filled that end of the ground. Mark Wright falls for John Jeffers. Didn't play on Sunday. Beckford just past the post. And that's the danger of Darren Beckford. So he almost repeated the dose there that he did on Sunday. Of course, Derby 1-0 up at the time, and they're not 1-0 up at the moment. It's 0-0. Aspin now for Port Vale. Michael Forsyth, Dean Saunders, but can't control it. Goes through to Mark Grew. Darren Hughes. Mark Grew. Brian McCord for Derby County. Glover slices. Saunders has two bites at the cherry, but Glover recovers. Ball back with Mark Grew again. Nicky Cross again beats Mark Wright. And it's a goal. An own goal by Rob Hindmarch. Trying to lift the ball back to goalkeeper Peter Shilton. And that goal coming 3 minutes into the second half. An unfortunate goal by Rob Hindmarch. 48 minutes into the game. So it's Derby 0, Port Vale 1. And in some ways, I suppose it was some sort of freak goal like that which would open this game out. Foul on Neil Aspin there by Dean Saunders. Aspin needs a bit of treatment. But there we are, Port Vale. Just 1 minute later than they were on Sunday in scoring. But it wasn't them who scored really, it was Rob Hindmarch. Aspin fit again. Simon Mills with the free kick. Derby County 0, Port Vale 1. Nick Pickering in for Hubbard. Knocked down by Robbie Earle, only to Craig Rummage. Will this spark Derby into life? Mel Sage forward. Tackled by Dean Glover on Rummage. Not getting much change out of Glover. Full force for the unfortunate Hindmarch. Through for Pickering, but it's Glover who's having that stunning game at the centre of the Port Vale defence. Picking that one up and back to Mark Grew. Peter Shilton was off his line and certainly didn't want the lofted back pass, which that turned out to be. Andy Porter unfortunate there, but Michael Forsyth picking up for Derby. Craig Rummage to Dean Saunders.
Mel Sage in good position on the right. Here he is. Sage looking for options. Hubbard to McCord. Closed down by Darren Hughes. It's McCord winning a corner. First Derby corner of the half. So Derby need a quick reply here. I'm marching right, going up for this one. McCord with the cross. Mark Wright. Off the line by Robbie Earle. Hubbard. Right again, but it's Beckford. High march. Right. Saunders wouldn't run for him. High march went in. Rummage! Craig Rummage scores! Beautifully taken goal. 6 minutes into the second half, while Craig Rummage equalises and scores. .51 minutes gone. Derby County 1, Port Vale 1, and this game has really lit up within 3 minutes of one goal to the other. 48 minutes, Hindmarch own goal. 51 minutes, Craig Rummage equalises. And the youngster really steadied himself there and took the ball well, took the goal well. So one each as Darren Hughes goes across field. Simon Mills. Trevor Hubbard. Mel Sage now looking for Saunders. Knocked inside by Saunders to Rummage. Back to Williams. Williams working the ball well to the Derby right, but too heavy for McCord. Throw into Vale. Derby County have to keep the tempo up. Port Vale have to calm it down. Which side will prosper in their efforts? Nicky Cross. Rob Hindmarch. Mark Wright won't keep that one in. Throw into Vale. Midway inside the Derby half. John Jeffers to take it. Back to Darren Hughes. Nicky Cross is holding the line well for Port Vale. Playing very well up front for the Bellins. Simon Mills into Ray Walker. Andy Porter. Faced by Trevor Hubbard. Gets his cross in. Mark Wright heads out. Dean Saunders picks up. Nice ball to Mark Wright. Advancing out of defence. Craig Rummage. On his own on the right. Does well. Good control. Mark Wright across. But Nicky Cross ever vigilant. Picks up before Michael Forsyth gets on the end of it. Forsyth can only play to the back of Cross. Walker takes over. Good pass out to the left to John Jeffers spreading the play. Good cross in, headed out by Wright. Picked up by Ray Walker. Cross to right back Mills. Mills. Robbie Earle. Beckford. Peter Shilton for Derby County. Saunders, good control. Leaving it for Trevor Hubbard, is he? No, he doesn't. Mel Sage. Saunders wants it back. Dean Glover reading the situation. Nicky Cross and Mark Wright. Throw into Derby County, in fact, because the ball had crossed the line before Mark Wright effected a tackle. Mel Sage to take it. Good work by the linesman. Rummage. His first goal in the FA Cup, of course, for young Craig Rummage. Andy Porter, Peter Shilton. Good covering by Michael Forsyth to keep Porter at bay. Dean Saunders. Ray Walker, good tackle by Williams, but picked up by Robbie Earle. John Jeffers. Good pass out to Nicky Cross. Good football from Vale. But the cross from Nicky Cross just left a little bit to be desired there. Just in the no man's land between the goalkeeper and the onrushing attack and backpedaling defence. Hebbert there, beaten by Ray Walker. Mark Wright up in the air. Saunders going for it, but it's Pickering, in fact, nodding it forward for Craig Ramage, but Dean Glover covering a lot of ground there. The heart of the Vale defence. Now Mark Wright. Back to Peter Shilton. So things have steadied down a bit, just gone 10 minutes in this second half. Goalless at half-time. Derby County 1, Port Vale 1 at this moment. Williams robs Walker. Ramage. Hebbert to McCord, who was screaming for the ball in the first place. Gets the ball over. There's Pickering, but he's beaten by Mills. Mills forward, but covered by Mark Wright there. Nicky Cross chasing everything. Michael Forsyth falling for Vale. Now it's Derby through Michael Forsyth again. Charging forward. Brought down by Robbie Earle. Quick free kick by Hebbert to Sage. Hindmarch playing forward now. And Robbie Earle just getting enough legs on that one. Hindmarch, according to minds, almost decided to charge through there on that pass back. Just doesn't really have the pace to catch that. That shows you the wind now in Derby's favour. That kick of Drews hanging there in the wind. And it looks as though Paul Miller is warming up for Port Vale. Full leggy winger. Simon Mills with the kick to Darren Beckford. Free header over Hindmarch. Nicky Cross turns right. Holds off Mark Wright. Does well, but Mark Wright into touch. Andy Porter with the throw to Mills. Into Cross. Cross forced out wide. Cross comes over. It's Robbie Earle with the header. Goal kick. A bit of hesitancy there as referee Allison and Waite play on. Plays half expecting a free kick. Allison Waite play on and the cross game over. Robbie Earle couldn't direct his header other than wide. It's Robbie Earle again. Ball force for Williams. Across to Mel Sage. Saunders to McCord. And the flag goes up for an offside decision. And referee Allison is speaking to who? Dean Glover. In fact, Dean Glover went in on Craig Ramage after the decision had been given. So although it's a free kick to Port Vale, referee Allison had strong words to say to this man, Dean Glover. Mark Wright beats Beckford. Robbie Earle back to Glover. Ex-West Brom, of course, as is goalkeeper Mark Brew. Peter Shilton for Derby County. Looking for Saunders. There's Dean Glover again. Pickering lets the ball run. But didn't control it, and it's Mills now charging forward. Resists the challenge of Hebbert, but Derby come back. Foul by Hindmarch. Free kick. Mills to take it. Beckford, Cross, Earle and Jeffers up for this one. Here's Beckford. Pickering covering. Playing the ball down the line. It's not going out. Picked up by Ray Walker. Tackled by Hebbert, and again by Hebbert both. The tackles fall for Vale men. That's Hindmarch into touch. And Mills going in too heavily on Hindmarch. Free kick to throw into Derby rather. Thought it was a free kick to start with. Robbie Earle does well after robbing Williams. Tricky player Robbie Earle, but he only plays the ball out to Andy Porter. He can't keep the ball in. Throw into Derby County. Michael Forsyth to take it.
We're now a quarter of an hour into the second half with the score Derby County 1, Port Vale 1 on the hour. And it's Craig Rummage doing well. We're just overhitting the pass to Saunders, who was slightly off balance. He'd done very, very well indeed to wriggle past those Port Vale defenders. And he wasn't quite off on balance when delivering the pass and just overhit it. Marsh miskicking, and it's Beckford to Porter. Porter, quick one in, right there. Corner kick, corner to Vale. Ray Walker is there. Ray Walker has done the job. He has scored for Vale 16 minutes into the second half. '61 minutes, and it's Derby County 1, Port Vale 2. Slack marking in the Derby defence there, normally so mean and tight. They've certainly been upset by the quality of Vale's play tonight. Mel Sage to Dean Saunders. Saunders. Back to Sage. McCord. Sage. Williams. Forsyth. Pickering can only head the ball into touch. I think certainly not going right for Derby County tonight. Two lapses in the defence there. Ray Walker doing very, very well. He of course scored their first goal in the defeat of Tottenham Vale 2 years ago. Is his goal, the second one for Vale tonight, going to cause another shock? We will see. Plenty of time yet. Mel Sage. Derby so indecisive now going forward. That's the difference between the two sides at the moment. Vale seem to know what they're doing when they're going forward, and Derby seem to have lost their way a bit. Craig Rummage, tackled by Robbie Earle. Rummage again, back to Sage. Sage finding Wright. Wright, no trouble to Mark Drew though, that one. Poor cross there for Mark Wright, who wanted it in the penalty area, not to have to come onto it coming out of the penalty area. Wright and Beckford, right down to Nick Pickering. We've seen a lot of Nick Pickering tonight, and he's beaten by Darren Beckford, but in fact Pickering got the last touch, so throw into Port Vale. Forsyth, Aspin, Forsyth up with Beckford, Andy Porter has worked feverishly in midfield. Derby County now, Pickering to Williams, Sage, Port Vale not giving Derby County a minute on the ball. Mark Wright, Rummage, foul by Ray Walker. It's number 7, Andy Porter, who was also in that tackle, who's gone down injured. If he got a boot in the face, probably the boot of Craig Rummage as he fell. Another hold up in this match. There are a few injuries there, but essentially a good sporting match. And Andy Porter fit again. So 20 minutes into the half. Derby County 1, Port Vale 2. That's the shock scoreline so far from the baseball ground. And that's Robbie Earle clearing. Craig Ramage. Robbie Earle again in. Having a very good second half, Robbie Earle. Ramage, good trickery there, but Robbie Earle robs him. Aspin out. A good pass out to Nicky Cross. He's on his own. Got Mickey Forsyth with him. For Derby. Cross now. Got the support. And that's Hebbert for the corner. And certainly Port Vale on the break, looking very, very dangerous. They know that Port Vale know that Derby County have got to come at them. And they're hitting Derby on the break. That is Nick Pickering who's headed that one out. So it's back with Ray Walker. Crossed by Walker. Hits McCord. Williams clear off Aspin, but it's Dean Glover. Ray Walker beaten by McCord. McCord down the line. It doesn't go out. Does now. Throw into Derby County. Williams. And nobody challenging on that ball by Williams. And Derby County are going to bring on Kevin Francis, the 6'7" striker, formerly of Milo Rovers. He's just limbering up in the tunnel. Tracksuit's off. He's almost ready to come on. That's Nicky Cross. Forsyth. Saunders. Ramage. It's who they're going to take off, because Ramage is not playing badly. Trevor Hebbert into Ramage. Hebbert. Saunders asleep. Well, certainly Derby need a new approach to trouble the Port Vale defence. It's Mel Sage for Derby County. Dean Saunders up with Aspin. Aspin wins. Andy Porter and Nick Pickering. Porter back to Mills. Mills to Beckford. Beckford, good control by Beckford. Finds Andy Porter. Ray Walker. Goal kick. And this is it, the substitution. Craig Ramage is the man to come off. Derby County's goal scorer. Coming off 24 minutes into the second half. Dean Glover. Flick on by Nicky Cross. Rob Highmarsh this time finds Peter Chilton. So Nick Pickering. Ray Walker for Vale. Simon Hughes, good play by him. Andy Porter, but Kevin Francis his first touch. And he's robbed, thinking he's dillying and dallying there, Francis. Just unsure of himself after doing very well to win the ball in the first place. And he was robbed. Flick on by Beckford over Wright. He's done well against Wright tonight. Is Kevin Francis. A good knockdown. Hebbert going through. But Glover there. He's certainly my man of the match, I think, the Glover so far. Had a superb game for Port Vale. Nicky Cross has done well against Wright, as I've said, and Beckford. McCord, Saunders, McCord for Derby County. Saunders, McCord, good play by Derby. He's got to play it back to Williams. Mel Sage, Williams, Forsyth in a good position, goes through to Saunders, and it's that man Glover who did the effective work there on Saunders before Robbie Earl played the ball back. Hubbard. McCord now. Saunders drifting to the right to stop onside. There's Saunders cutting in. Williams. McCord. Shows too much of it to Hughes, but comes over. Williams now for Derby. That's Cross doing a lot of pressing. Saunders tries a snapshot. Andy Porter working his way back to his own goalkeeper. Good work. All these Vale men are heroes tonight. Certainly played to their potential. Derby a little bit off colour. Beckford comes off his marker. It's now Pickering for Derby County. It's Francis, but Drew's out. Francis, who's a lot quicker than he looks. With ground-eating stride, those long legs. Nicky Cross. Coming off Rob Hindmarsh, that's indecision there, almost cost Derby. Indecision between Wright and Shilton. And Darren Beckford was almost in there again. Francis, beaten by Aspin. Ray Walker. Andy Porter back to Mills. Mills, Rob Hindmarsh. Trevor Hubbard. Dean Saunders. Pickering. Tackled by Robbie Earl. Ray Walker. Picked up by Hindmarsh. Trevor Hubbard. Beckford for Vale. Rob Hindmarsh does well. Geraint Williams for Derby. Dean Saunders. Geraint Williams. And a good save by Mark Drew. That was a good move, but the finish just not what Derby wanted. Just the finish that Mark Drew wanted. Darren Beckford. Michael Forsyth. Nick Pickering. Michael Forsyth. Nick Pickering. Great save by Drew, and that's a bit more like it. A shot on target. Nick Pickering to take the left wing corner. The big fella, number 14, Kevin Francis, is on the near post. Come over for Mark Wright, but Dean Glover out for the corner this side of the field, to be taken by Brian McCord. Mark Wright over on the far side of the penalty area. Rob Hindmarsh is also up there. Quick short one though. And mixed up between Hubbard and McCord means that Derby lose the advantage of that corner. McCord not ready for that pass. Nicky Cross for Vale. Just going to run out. John Jeffers pull back. And it's Rob Hindmarsh placing the ball up for Mel Sace to take the throw. Throw into Derby County. Into Kevin Francis. Lays it off back to Mel Sage. Rob Hindmarsh. Looking for and finding Hubbard. Williams, a good crossfield ball to Michael Forsyth. Into Trevor Hubbard again. Williams. Tackle on Pickering there. Saunders picks up. Sage to McCord. Sage, Williams. Derby, patient build-up, looking for the gap. Kevin Francis gets the ball trapped. Through to Nick Pickering. Hubbard, just past the post. Didn't really get hold of it. So, around quarter of an hour left in this match. And Port Vale holding the surprise lead here at the baseball ground. I say surprise, but on their play, it's not a surprise. They played very well. Though probably a draw would be a fairer result at this stage. Darren Beckford, Nicky Cross. Turning Mark Wright. He's certainly given Mark Wright plenty to think about. Peter Shilton gathering that one well. Downfield for Dean Saunders. Goes over him. Kevin Francis. John Jeffers mark through, but that's going to swing out into touch. Throw into Derby County. Into Mark Wright. Mark Wright turning across to Rob Hindmarch. Ambitious pass by Hindmarch for Pickering. Ray Walker. Tackle though, and Pickering now coming to Francis. They stop to Hubbard, Williams, Saunders, Sage, Williams, starts calling for it, and it's Darren Hughes filling the gap left by Mel Sage, who'd gone forward, and it's there. It's a lovely goal by Nicky Cross. That must have settled it, I would have thought. With just 12 minutes to go. (3-1) to Port Vale. And that was a score, of course, that Derby lost to 2 years ago when they played a home tie against Chelsea. So third round blues for Derby. And this could be the first replay, third round replay since the war. There have only been 5 others. First third round replay that they've actually lost here at the baseball ground. Saunders, Williams, great save by Grew, Forsyth, Francis, yes! Francis has scored! This game's not over yet. Neil Aspin is out flat. And the substitute, Kevin Francis, has scored. Derby County 2, Port Vale 3. That's the important thing for Derby County, with around 11, 12 minutes left. It's 2-3. That's Kevin Francis' first senior goal for Derby County. So one of those unusual instances where The two scorers for Derby are Craig Ramage and then the man who replaced him, Kevin Francis. Neil Aspin looks in a little bit of trouble. Biggest test, of course, is when the ball next comes towards him. See how he figures then. So Port Vale kick off, leading 3-2. And what has been an exceptionally good second half. 0-0 at half time, remember. Jeffers for Port Vale, good cross. Out by Mark Wright, Ray Walker. Darren Hughes. Good tackle by Francis. Throw into Port Vale. Referee Allison now. A little bit of a jinx on Derby. As much as in his last 3 visits, Derby County haven't won. I think they're his only 3 visits. John Jeffers fouling Meltage. Littlewood Cup tie against Aston Villa 3 seasons ago. It was 1 each here. And there was a 2-2 draw against Sheffield Wednesday in the league match, in which referee Allison was here. And then his last visit was last season. The Saunders goes through. Good goalkeeping by Mark Drew there. And as I was saying, his last game here was just over a year ago against Luton in the First Division. That was a 1-0 scoreline to Luton. So not the best of referees to have at the baseball ground, but there we are. 2-3, Derby County looking for the equaliser. I suppose at the moment Derby County wouldn't mind extra time. They've just got to get another goal to get them there. Kevin Francis hammers it across. Good shot on the turn by Pickering. Mark Drew saves it. Well, Dean Saunders hasn't scored for 7 games since the league game against Charlton right at the beginning of December. 2-0 win here. He's due a goal. Now Derby County could do with one from him now. Michael Forsyth. Andy Porter into touch. Six minutes plus injury time left. Port Vale in possession. Ray Walker, Andy Porter. Port Vale doing very, very well out of defence, but that pass forward not what they wanted. Although it does put the ball back in the Derby half. Kevin Francis and Neil Aspin. Throw into Derby County. Neil Aspin appears to have run his trouble off. Geraint Williams. That's Dean Glover hacking the ball clear. Mark Wright shepherding the ball into touch. Throw into Derby. Looking for Saunders. Robbie Earle. Free kick to Derby. Quick one to Hebbard by Saunders. Francis knocks it into the path of Pickering, but it's Simon Hughes there. Williams again, Pickering, Forsyth through to Francis. Very ambitious by the young forward there. He's scored 1 goal, but he needs to keep the movement going. Get the Derby forwards near a goal. So Mark Drew to take the goal kick. It's been a pulsating second half. Robbie Earle to Darren Beckford. Andy Porter. Simon Mills. Faced by Michael Forsyth. Throw into Derby County. Into Williams. Back to Forsyth.
Loses it to Nicky Cross. Goal kick. It's Shilton hurrying. Not a lot of time left now. Can Port Vale hold out for a famous win at the baseball ground? Michael Forsyth. Mark Drew. Whatever happens, you can't say Port Vale haven't earned what they've got. Andy Porter. Simon Hughes. Nicky Cross into touch. Kevin Francis in. Trevor Hebbard on this one. Gets the ball across to Saunders. And that ball just didn't run for Saunders. Good goalkeeping by Crew. Good play by Francis and by Pickering. Corner kick to Derby County. Brave goalkeeping by Crew. Mark Wright. Off the line by Walker. The man who scored Vale's second goal. High Marsh own goal. Walker and Cross. Nicky Cross for Vale. Mark Crew concedes another corner. Derby County scorers Craig Ramage and Kevin Francis. Pickering with the corner. High March. Williams. Saunders! And it just wouldn't go. Again, brave goalkeeping by Mark Crew. Derby think they've got a corner, they haven't. Saunders was the man to put the ball out. So two very, very good pieces of goalkeeping by Mark Crew at the expense of Dean Saunders. Twice in the last 2 minutes. Robbie Earle, Andy Porter, Michael Forsyth, back to Peter Shilton. Shilton's kick to Francis, he knocks it on. Pickering. And that's another corner of Ray Walker. What a thrilling finish this match has. Is there another goal in the offing? If so, who will it go to? Pickering. High March, beaten by Jeffers. Porter. Pickering going in, but it's Hughes. Williams. Cross for McCord. Can he keep it in? It can't. Gathers pace off the pitch as soon as it bounced. Goal kick to Port Vale, and there'll be no rush to take this one. 1 minute and a half with injury time. Referee Allison just checked his watch, in fact. He knows exactly how long there is to go. That's Earle doing well to beat Hebbard and Wright. Peter Shilton. Francis. That's Porter sending Nicky Cross free. It's a 2-on-1 situation because Beckford's free. It's Beckford, but it's too far. Beckford straining to keep it in. He does so. Throw into Vale off Mel Sage. Ball at the wrong end for Derby County. Ray Walker. Nicky Cross. Stays down the pitch, but it's good back heel by Walker, but only finds McCord. It's Francis. Well played, Francis. Hebbard, wrong side of Pickering. Andy Porter. Rob Highmarsh all alone there. Darren Beckford's going to cross to challenge him.
Cross to right. Derby can't afford to pass back. They've got to get the ball forward. The whistles flying around this baseball ground. Stage forward. Saunders is not going to catch it. Goal kick. And this looks like a famous victory for Port Vale. Minute into injury time. Mark Grew. Jeffers. Mark Wright. Referee looking at his watch. And there it is. It's all over. Port Vale have a famous victory here at the baseball ground by 3-2, and they really have earned it. They've really played well here tonight. They've done exceptionally well against the first division opposition, Derby County. They couldn't do it on their own ground, but they've done it tonight, taking full advantage of an own goal by Rob Hindmarch in the 48th minute. That was equalised by Craig Ramage for Derby County in 51. Ray Walker then scored for Port Vale in 61 minutes. Nicky Cross extended that lead in 78. Kevin Francis came on and scored within a minute. And 3-2 it remained then until the end of the game. A pulsating cup tie here at the baseball ground. Port Vale winning out by 3-2 to earn the right to meet Aston Villa or Blackburn, which looked like Aston Villa at half-time, with 2-1 to Villa. So, with this news from Derby County, it's Mike Wilson from the baseball ground saying good night to you.